my 21-day keto reset. One of my goals was to not lose weight. One of the advantages of keto, the duration of intermittent fasting between meals. Ketosis is such a larger picture than just the macros.
Welcome to Outcast, Outdoor Podcast by Primal Utah. This travel journal is packed with wellness ideas and answers for on-the-go, healthy-minded outdoor enthusiasts. Based on groundwork by Mark Sisson, author of Primal Blueprint and other full-spectrum health advocates, your competitive edge comes from integrated wellness and ancestral health concepts to eat well, sleep well, play well, move well, and live well. Let's get this show on the road with your primal health coach and Sherpa, Jason Steed.
Hi there, this is Jason Steed, Primal Utah. I'm out on Antelope Island, Saturday, December 22nd. It's about 7:15 a.m. We're starting to see a little bit more light. I've been out here since the full moon was up at around 6:30, and my makeshift battery charger is not working, so I'll bet we're losing a percentage of battery every few seconds. So this will be short and sweet. It's beautiful out here, absolutely stunning. My dog and I, Pepper, say hello, Pepper. We've been out here since about 6:30 this morning, and full moon, so our first part of our trip was moonlit. We're starting to get a little bit more natural light in the sky. Out on Antelope Island on the north end, one of my favorite spaces to be during the winter. You'll see coyote out here. You'll see, of course, bison galore. I can't promise we'll spot any today. I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience with my 21-day keto reset. One of my goals was to not lose weight during a keto reset. And I love the fact that there were many benefits from keto for me without one of them being the goal to lose weight. And it wasn't easy. I had to keep a close look on my fat intake, and it took me, the first week took me a little while to figure out how exactly to keep my carb gram consumption under 50 grams per day. I think I was about 58 grams per day. Thought I was on target, so I was glad I was tracking. By week 2, following a 36-hour fast, I got my act together and figured out how to keep the carbs low. And I learned in week 2 as well that I can meet up with pretty well with my daily requirements of macros in terms of fat intake and protein. But I recognized as well that one of the advantages of keto, being in ketosis, is the duration of intermittent fasting between meals, and that it's not all about staying satiated all the time. There are benefits to some of those longer gaps of fasting, whether that be from an early dinner to a late breakfast, or whether that be just a good, rigorous commitment to not snacking between 2 meals a day, for example. So during week 3, I experimented a little bit with 2 meals per day, and I think that's where many of my benefits came. Just checking, make sure we're not out of batteries. Hey, this is a good time to show you my new fleet of Primal Utah swag. Here's the front. This is Ivan. Keto reset week 3. Some of the things I learned were that it's not all about the food consumption and monitoring, and it had also a lot to do with my overall state of being, my presence, my attitude, my just conscious awareness, and making time for important things outside of the realms of the standard daily routines, and so I spent time during my third week of ketosis focusing on some mindfulness, on some meditation, some gratitude. Hats on, getting cold now, walking into the north wind. Be better at generating ketones as energy for the body, which is a very clean burning fuel. That requires more than just the monitoring of intake of food. It also requires the management of overall stress levels, overall body and systems wellness. So managing cortisol. And so I was reminded that I needed to focus as well on overall well-being, on overall awareness, mindfulness, finding opportunities to grow spiritually. Just to remind myself that there's a big picture here when it comes to overall healthy keto process. So that was week 3. I can't lie, week 3 has been tricky for me. My mom's health has been declining for several years from bone cancer. Signs of serious liver failure about 7-8 weeks ago. And in fact, she passed away 2 nights ago with my dad and me and my brother, sister-in-law there at her side. Also, my sister had been in town just a few days prior. That brought with it a lot of ups and downs in terms of emotions and management of sleep schedules. And but I attribute some of the things that I had been doing with ketosis to giving me better energy and perspective, and probably needed to dip into this last week or 2. That's been a real challenge, but it just reminded me that ketosis is such a larger picture than just the macros that go in and out of our bodies. And so wrapped up ketosis, wrapped up my 21-day keto reset 3 days ago, and glad to be back to my once in a while stack of sweet potato hash for breakfast, grain-free chips, extra squares of dark chocolate, the yogurt, desserts, and some of those things. So anyway, that is my report out here on Antelope Island, December 22nd. Primal Utah Outdoor Podcast, coming to you with Pepper here at my side. It's been a pleasure. We'll do this again. This is one of my pre-episodes. Hope to get this launched in early January coming up here. Thank you. I'm out.
This was Outcast, Outdoor Podcast by Primal Utah, hosted by Jason Steed. For more information on topics in this episode and other episodes, visit primalutah.com/outcast or send emails to info@primalutah.com.
Discussion points in this podcast and any claims for this or other Primal Utah materials are not intended to diagnose, treat, prevent, or cure any diseases or condition. This material provides no substitute for the advice, treatment, and/or diagnosis of a qualified licensed professional.